Good morning, students. In this video, we will discuss the topic probiotics, concept and applications. What is a probiotic? Probiotics are microorganisms, and these microorganisms are viable and non-pathogenic. When these microorganisms are ingested, they exert a positive influence on host health and physiology. So, probiotics are viable, non-pathogenic microorganisms which, when ingested, exert a positive influence on host health and physiology. These probiotics are also commonly called as good bacteria or friendly bacteria. Probiotics are defined in different ways. A probiotic is a live microorganism which, when given in adequate quantity, has a beneficial effect on host. Probiotics are beneficial forms of gut bacteria that help to stimulate the natural digestive juices and enzymes that keep our digestive organs functioning properly. Probiotics are live microbial feed supplements that have beneficial effects on the host by improving its intestinal microbial balance. What you have to remember in the definition of probiotics is that these are live microorganisms, but these are non-pathogenic in nature. And when we consume or when we ingest these live microorganisms, they cause beneficial effect. They does not harm, but they benefit the host. Probiotics are also defined as mono or mixed cultures of live microorganisms, which when applied to man or animals beneficially affect the host by improving the proportion of indigenous microflora. What does this mean? It is not necessary that probiotic contains only one type of microorganism. It may be a culture containing a single type of microorganism or mixed cultures of microorganisms. These are live, and when such live microorganisms are consumed by man or they are given to animals, they beneficially affect the host, that is the man or animal, and improve the proportion of indigenous microflora. The concept of traditional probiotics was initially based on observations of Eli Metchnikoff in 1907. Eli Metchnikoff suggested that the regular consumption of fermented dairy products like curd with lactic acid bacteria such as yogurt, that means curd, was associated with enhanced health and longevity in elderly Bulgarian people. What does this mean? Eli Metchnikoff made this observation that when elderly Bulgarian people consumed fermented dairy products such as yogurt, and this fermented dairy product called as yogurt contains lactic acid bacteria. It is just like curd. When such fermented dairy product like yogurt was consumed by elderly Bulgarian people, it helped them to enhance health and it also helped them to longevity. Since then, the term probiotic has always been linked to beneficial bacteria for the host health, although its precise definition has evolved over the time. Probiotics can be used to restore the normal balance of intestinal ecosystem as novel health promoting strategy. This is a new strategy, hence it is called as novel health promoting strategy. This new trend highlights the use of commensal bacteria as probiotics is the natural way to restore the healthy situation within different human ecosystems like intestinal ecosystem, vaginal ecosystem, skin ecosystem, etc. Opening the door to a new type of probiotics commonly called either next generation probiotic NGPs or live biotherapeutic products called as LBPs. So why for the probiotics are used? The probiotics are used to restore the normal balance of various ecosystems. What are these various ecosystems? It may be intestinal ecosystem, vaginal ecosystem or skin ecosystem. There we give commensals as probiotics, and this helps in health promotion. That means it helps to keep the person healthy in that particular area. This is called as next generation probiotic or live biotherapeutic product. Now, why our ecosystems are disturbed? That is, factors affecting the intestinal micro ecosystem. Our intestine carries a large number of commensal microorganisms, because of which the gut is healthy. But this ecosystem is sometimes disturbed. Why is it disturbed? Because of antibiotics and other drugs. When we take antibiotics or other drugs, they will kill the intestinal microflora that is indigenous there, and therefore the intestinal ecosystem is disturbed. Microbial infections. The infectious microorganism enters and it colonizes in the intestine, and that's why the intestinal ecosystem is disturbed. Diet. When we consume the diet that is highly processed or the fiber content is low, then the ecosystem is disturbed. Chronic diarrhea also disturbs the ecosystem. Stress, using chlorinated water or drinking chlorinated water, because of radiation, because of chemotherapeutic treatment or colonic therapies for detoxification. When we undergo all this or when we use the products like this, these are the factors that affect our intestinal ecosystem. Now this intestinal ecosystem is, if is affected, then it needs to be corrected for good health. And for that purpose we use probiotics. Characteristics of effective probiotics. If the probiotics are to be used, then it must possess certain characteristics. It should be able to survive the passage through the digestive system. For that, it should be resistant to gastric juice. The gastric juice has pH of 2 to 3.4, means it is highly acidic in nature. And if we consume live microorganism as a probiotic, then that microorganism will be killed if it comes in contact with this low pH. And therefore, the probiotic organism should be such that it should be able to survive the passage through the digestive system, and therefore it should be resistant to gastric juice, low pH. It should be able to attach to the intestinal epithelia and colonize, because these probiotics should colonize in the intestine and grow, and therefore it should be able to attach to the intestinal epithelium, and it should be able to colonize there. It should be able to maintain good viability, means it should be live and multiplying. It should be able to maintain good viability. Able to utilize the nutrients and substrates in a normal diet, means whatever diet we take normally, that diet will be acting as the medium for these probiotics, for these cultures that are colonized in the intestine, and therefore it should be able to utilize the nutrients and substrates in the normal diet. It should be viable, non-pathogenic and non-toxic in nature. The probiotic should be capable of exerting a beneficial effect on the host. This is highly important, that it should not only grow and colonize in the intestine, but it should exert some sort of beneficial effect on the host. It should have stability of desired characteristics during processing, storage and transportation. Means its characteristics should not change when we process the probiotic or store the probiotic or transport the probiotic. Its stability should be maintained. It should be anti-inflammatory, anti-mutagenic and immunostimulatory. Now we will discuss some probiotic strains, means some organisms that can be used or that are used as probiotics. We generally prefer using Lactobacillus species and Bifidobacterium species. The Lactobacillus species that are commonly used include Lactobacillus acidophilus, Lactobacillus plantarum, Lactobacillus casei, subspecies Rhamnospus, Lactobacillus brevis, Lactobacillus delbrueckii, etc. Bifidobacterium species that are commonly used include Bifidobacterium adolescentis, Bifidobacterium bifidum, Bifidobacterium longum, Bifidobacterium infantis, or Bifidobacterium breve. The other organisms, means the organisms other than Lactobacilli or Bifidobacterium, include Streptococcus salivarius, subspecies Thermophilus, Leuconostoc mesenteroids, Enterococcus faecium, Saccharomyces boulardii, Bacillus cereus variety Toyoi. These are some examples of probiotics. You can see the pictures. Yakult, you must be well familiar with. Vive, Kefir. There is Risera. The product is organic in nature and with strawberry flavor. Some examples I have written on this side as yogurt, acidophilus milk, kefir, tofu, kumis, etc. So this is about the concept of probiotics. I hope you understood the concept of probiotics. Now we will discuss some of the applications of probiotics. Probiotics produce lactic acid, and because they produce lactic acid, it lowers the pH of the intestine and inhibits bacterial villains such as Clostridium, Salmonella, Shigella, E. coli, etc. Means they are useful to stop the growth, or they are useful to inhibit the growth of unwanted or pathogenic microorganisms like Clostridium, Salmonella, Shigella, E. coli, etc. Decreases the production of a variety of toxic or carcinogenic metabolites. Probiotics aid in absorption of minerals, especially absorption of calcium. Calcium is not easily absorbed, so probiotics help in its absorption because they increase the intestinal acidity and calcium is dissolved and absorbed. Probiotics produce a wide range of antimicrobial substances. Some examples here given include acidophilin and bacteriocin. And these antimicrobial substances help to control the pathogenic bacteria. Probiotics produce vitamins, especially vitamin B and vitamin K. They act as barriers to prevent harmful bacteria from colonizing the intestines. Probiotics are useful for blood pressure reduction. Consumption of milk fermented with various strains of lactic acid bacteria may result in modest reductions in blood pressure due to the ACE inhibitor like peptides produced during fermentation. Means if we consume lactic acid bacteria in fermented dairy products, it helps in reducing the blood pressure, that is hypertension. Probiotics are useful to prevent the colon cancer. Certain probiotics which contain Lactobacillus bulgaricus may help to prevent the colon cancer. Now, how these probiotics prevent the colon cancer? There are various mechanisms. One is they prevent the conversion of primary bile salts to secondary bile salts. They prevent the formation of colon cancer by binding and removal of carcinogens. Carcinogens are the substances or the agents that induce cancer. So they bind to these carcinogens and remove the carcinogens. They produce anti-mutagenic compounds. They produce butyrate, and because of this butyrate, programmed cell death of abnormal cell is enhanced and therefore abnormal cells are removed or they are killed. They enhance the immune system and thereby prevent the colon cancer. Probiotics are also useful to lower the cholesterol. A range of lactic acid bacteria are able to break down the bile in the gut and thus inhibiting its reabsorption. Lactose intolerance. This is a genetic disorder in some people where lactose is not digested. Lactose digestion is problematic. When they consume milk or milk products, lactose is not digested and this results in fluid accumulation, diarrhea and flatulence. consumption of probiotics containing Streptococcus thermophilus, Lactobacillus delbrueckii, Lactobacillus acidophilus more than 10 raised to 8 CFU per gram, means more than 10 raised to 8 colony forming units per gram, improves the digestion of lactose. Probiotics are used to treat the antibiotic associated diarrhea. It is called as AAD. Antibiotic associated diarrhea results from an imbalance in the colonic microbiota. Probiotic treatment can reduce the incidence and severity of antibiotic associated diarrhea. Efficacy of probiotic in prevention of antibiotic associated diarrhea is dependent on probiotic strain or strains that are used and on the dosage. Probiotics are used in stimulating immune response, regulation of the secretion of inflammatory mediators and promoting development of the immune system. Some probiotics induce TNF and IL-6. TNF is tumor necrosis factor and IL-6 is interleukin 6. They are used to lessen the intestinal stress. They are used to prevent food allergy by promoting endogenous barrier mechanisms and alleviating intestinal inflammation. Probiotics can be used to prevent vaginal and urinary tract infections. Probiotics can be used to help to regulate the peristalsis and bowel movements. Probiotic is also useful in Crohn's disease. This disease is associated with impairment of barrier function and it can be controlled by probiotic supplement in the patient's diet. So these are certain applications of probiotics and there are many more also. But do the probiotics have side effects? Yes, sometimes probiotics can cause side effects, that is unwanted effects. In rare cases, probiotics can cause bloating, diarrhea and abdominal pain. If in excess, probiotics can cause infection and that requires medical attention. In people having underlying diseases or compromised immune systems, probiotics can cause potential health problems like skin rash, fever, etc. Sometimes, probiotics interact with immunosuppressive drugs leading to life-threatening conditions. So people taking such drugs should avoid using probiotics without prescription. This is about concept and applications of probiotics. I hope you have understood this. Thank you.